recently ran into or come across this South African dancer, and I have simply just been, I can say, captivated or mesmerized just by her talent. She is an amazing dancer, and you can just read her comment section and you can see that I'm not the only one who's captivated, obviously. She's captivated audiences from all around the world, from different backgrounds, probably from all types of age groups, generations, I'm sure. And, she doesn't have a conventional look, but when she starts to dance, she just absolutely everything about her that is unconventional melts away. And you just see her sheer abilities, her talents. And, I found myself just really thinking about, her and I was just talking to God about it. And I was just like, wow, God, like, I just find myself thinking about, like, because I watched several of her videos yesterday. And, lots of people have talents and things like that. But I'm sure we've all experienced somebody that, when you experience their talent, you think about them and you think about their, their craft. But this particular woman, I found myself just thinking about all these different videos, and I was just watching several of them back to back, and I was just talking to the Lord about it. And I was just like, what is it, Lord, that is about her that is, so captivating? And he said, it's her God given talent. It's her God given gift. That's what's captivating. Because when we see somebody who is operating in their God given gift, and we all have at least one, it looks effortless. It looks as though it is the most natural thing that we could ever be doing. And I really identify with this woman, one, because I love to dance too. And I really understood, like, her dancing wasn't just dancing. It was like her body was communicating with the music. And I really understand that as a dancer. And you see people dancing, you've watched other people dancing, but there's something really captivating when you see somebody who really understands what it means to move and your body communicates with the music. And it's like you can almost interpret the next beat or the next rhythm or whatever comes next. It's like your body flows with the music. It's like your body is a part of the music. And so I really understand that as a dancer. And so I think that's another thing that really captivated me. But when you see that God given talent, that God given gift, I should say, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And so what I'm here to encourage you to do is that when you start, because we talk about starting on this channel a lot, use your God given gift. And if you don't know what that is, what did you do as a child naturally? What are you drawn to naturally? Because those are the things that you're going to be able to do that is just going to flow. And so start there, because just seeing how she was able to do what she was able to do, it was inspiring. It brought so much joy. There was so much joy on her face. It was like she belonged there. Like that's what she was meant to do her whole life. And God has put that same thing or that same ability in each one of us. And He wants us to be operating in those gifts. And so I want to encourage you to explore because life has a way of getting in the way of or muting or downplaying or just darkening who we are, drowning out everything, the innocence, the purity of who we are. But when we get back to us, that childlike sense of our natural abilities, no one has that same ability that you have that God has implanted in you. And so, whatever that looks like, and whatever God has put in your heart, do that. Do that. There, when I tell you, when I started to get back to the things that I love, when I was on my journey of rediscovering myself, I've danced my whole life. And so getting back into dance, it reminded me of just that little girl who, I mean, the first time I ever put on a dance shoe, it's like I came alive. It was like I found a piece of me that was always wanted to be discovered. And so I would say, and you're, I don't know if you're thinking like money wise, if you're a painter, if you're an artist, you don't need to have all the supplies, all the fanciest things. Start on YouTube. I I love to ballroom dance. Like I recently got into ballroom dancing. I was taking Latin dancing lessons for a while. I had stopped because I wanted to try some other styles. I started ballroom dancing online. Started taking classes online. Art. Started to learn how to paint. All of these paintings back here. I learned how to do that via online. Things that I've always wanted to do. So don't think everything has to be like at a cost. And and I will say this, if there's something that is truly on your heart and it does cost something, bring it to the Lord. He is your provider. And because I'll tell you this past summer, they were doing an adult rowing class, and I've always wanted to do rowing. And it was not a cheap, it was not a cheap class. And I was like, you know what, Lord? I've always wanted to try rowing, and this would be an investment in myself. And, I'll do the numbers, but I believe that you're going to provide. And by golly, did He. By golly, did He provide. I didn't miss a beat with my finances. And I was able to do something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm telling you, when you rediscover things about yourself, when you rediscover those talents, those gifts that God has put in you, it it's like your identity resurfaces. There's something very spiritual about that because it's like God puts those things in you from birth. And it's like, can you imagine what that was like as he formed you in your mother's womb? What that process was like, what he did, how he came about forming you, how what he chose for you as an individual, how he created you, and how beautiful of a process. It wasn't some cookie cutter process. He numbered the hairs on your head. He chose everything about you, your eye color, your skin color, everything. So you are beautifully and wonderfully made in the sight of God. And you're precious. And so today is a reminder to use your God given gifts. And the gifts he's given you he will never take them away from you. He will never take them away from you. And so I hope you have a good rest of your day and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.